Greetings, everyone. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys, I want to share a story with you, and it's a pretty sad story, but it's not a story that's unfortunately unusual in the history of the United States. And you hear me talking many times in several of my videos about America's double standard, the way it treats its people of color in relationship how it treats whites. you know um, and I want to talk about this particular person here, right here. See her right there? You know what it is? That's Brooke Scholar Richardson. Again, Brooke Scholar Richardson. Brooke Scholar Richardson is the devil reincarnated. And I said it just like I meant it. If Satan has a daughter, he has to look like her. But equally important, he has to think like her. Now let me tell you a little bit about Brooke, okay? If you don't mind. Give me just a minute of your time. Because I want to share with you just, again, how America looks at a Brooke Richardson. And why I'm sharing this story with you, I want you to think that if Brooke Richardson was a black female, 20 years old, and had committed what Brooke committed, as I will share with you in a moment. As you're listening to me sharing this information with you, just want you to think, what would have been the outcome for a black Brooke Richardson? Okay? But here we go. Okay, let's get started. Ohio mom, 20 years old, acquitted for killing newborn, but convicted of corpse abuse. Acquitted for killing her newborn child, but convicted of corpse abuse. I never even heard of the term corpse abuse, but whatever the hell that means. But I guess we'll find out. But let's get into the story. A young Ohio mother was acquitted Thursday of charges that she killed her unwanted newborn child. The Warren County jury delivered for 4 hours before acquitting 20-year-old Brooke Scholar Richardson of aggravated murder, involuntary manslaughter, and child endangerment. Now, I don't know what kind of beast who would do these things, but if you want to get an idea of what they could look like, you just saw, again, Brooke Scholar Richardson. All right? And in case you need to see, again, what a monster looks like, that's what a monster looks like. Right there. See that? Yes. Right there. Well, let's continue, okay? Because I know you want to hear the rest of the story. Maybe you don't, but you will anyway, because, at the end of the day, we need to be fair and balanced, you know what I'm saying? And for all of those folk who want to say there's no such thing as white privilege, let's read on to the story. Richardson, a former high school cheerleader, was found guilty of abuse of a corpse and was scheduled to be sentenced on Friday. That charge carries up to 1 year in prison, you heard me right, but she could get probation as a first-time offender. She murdered a newborn child and can actually end up with probation for her sentence. Can you imagine a 20-year-old woman, that's just a woman of color, Hebrew Israelite, who murdered her child, and that's what the sentence would be, probation. I wonder why. Let's get farther into it. Richardson faced life in prison if she had been convicted of all charges. Of course, we couldn't let that happen to the innocent Brooke. Prosecutors contended that Richardson wanted to keep her perfect life and attempted to do so by hiding her unwanted pregnancy and then buried her baby in the family's backyard in May of 2017, within days of her senior prom. The remains were found that July in Carlisle, a village 40 miles north of Cincinnati. So that poor baby stayed in the ground in the hot ass May, hot ass June, and hot ass July. So you can imagine what they found sitting in the ground when they finally went back there and dug up the corpse. Okay? Richardson's defense team said the baby she named Annabelle was a stillborn and that the team was sad and scared. Prosecutors said the circumstantial evidence, I mean pretty strong goddamn evidence, pointed to a murder, saying that Richardson had cleaned up a bloody mess and texted her mother that she was happy about her belly shrinking after the baby was gone. Not the mother didn't know the baby was gone. She just told her mom, hey, I'm losing weight. My belly is getting back in shape again. Now this is after the baby was gone, so I just don't want you to think that the mother was co-conspiring with this. Mother had no damn idea this had happened. At first, that's how conniving little sweet ass Brooke was. A forensic pathologist testified for the prosecution that she concluded the baby died from homicidal violence. Prosecutors said Richardson had searched on the internet for how to get rid of a baby. You searched on the internet for how to get rid of a baby, and then when the baby was born, you got rid of the baby, but you didn't know what you were doing. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. They played a video for the jury of a police interview with Richardson, which Richardson said the baby might have moved and made noises. This is Richardson who said it. The mother, the murdering mother of the newborn child. Cincinnati psychologist Stuart Baseman said Scholar was being manipulated into making false statements during the interrogations. Central Park 5 were manipulated, but that didn't matter, right? Their asses still got thrown in jail, but not little sweet innocent Scholar. The police manipulate. I thought that's what the hell they're supposed to do when they're interrogating you, to figure out a way to get you to confess. But, okay, I digress. He described Richardson as a vulnerable, immature person whose dependent personality disorder makes her want to please authority figures, even to the point of making incriminating statements that were untrue. Wow. Julie Kraft, assistant prosecutor, suggested that besides wanting to please authorities, boy, look how they come to her rescue. You got to give white folks credit, boy. They can rally up the team when they need to. Richardson's desire to please her family and boyfriend and fear of them abandoning her could have motivated her to commit extreme acts. The trial drew daily coverage from Court TV and at least 2 national TV network magazines playing stories on it. The case has divided the village. The rest of it is just bullshit. But can you believe that, guys? She murdered her child, and the best that they could come up with was, she was manipulated by the investigators who were investigating her for murder and manslaughter and burying the child and lying about it because she wanted to make them happy. She wanted to please them, so that's why she told them what they wanted to hear. Although what she confessed to actually happened. Only in America. Only in America. You gotta be a white 20-year-old female to get away with shit like that. It kind of brings me back, to the movie Rosewood. Some of you guys may remember. If you remember Rosewood, this white woman was I want to say the F word with a man behind her husband's back. Y'all know what the F word is. She was having extramarital sex while her husband was at work with another white man. And of course, when he finished having sex with her, she wasn't pleased. She thought he might be cheating. Although she's cheating on her husband, she felt like the guy she's in an affair with might be cheating on her. So she strikes out at the white guy who she's having sex with. He pretty much beats the crap out of her. And what does she do to cover it from her husband so her husband doesn't come home and start asking questions, what happened to you? So she claimed a black guy attacked her and beat her up, trying to rape her. And if you know the rest of that story, the damn whole black community in Rosewood was pretty much burned down, and several blacks were murdered and killed behind her telling a white lie. I wonder if that's where the term a white lie comes from. But a whole city. You know why? Because everybody in that city wanted to believe that a white woman, they're a precious jewel. You know what I'm saying? The I don't know, the motherhood of all mothers would never tell a lie. And surely she wouldn't lie about a black man. Because after all, you can't trust those blacks. But when you see this kind of wicked, wretched behavior, and excuses being made for this kind of wicked, wretched behavior, all they could do is bring back to memories all the things that we have said time and time again. When you look at the judicial system in this country and the way it treats its so-called white citizens, I don't even call them so, how it treats its white citizens versus how it treats its so-called black citizens, then there's no way you can dispute that this system is in place to protect them and to attack and imprison us. That's the whole judicial system as you understand it, as you see it. And again, Brooke is a classic example of how justice is only blind when it comes down to whites. Because it seems to have two big, giant buckeyes when it comes down to people of color. But I just wanted to share that story with you. I thought you would really want to see, what a murderous, vicious, violent killer, murderer looks like. I wanted to be sure that you had her picture. Since CNN is not going to post it, and Fox News is not going to post it, or MSNBC is not going to post it, I'm going to post it for you. This is what a violent, vicious, murdering dog looks like, right there. Okay? That's what you need to be afraid of when you're walking the streets. If this moves into your community, if this is around your children, you need to make sure you warn them and keep a close eye on your children, your sons, your daughters, because this, you're not getting away that easy, old bro. Because that vicious animal could be lurking or maybe even living right next door to you. Whew. Yahweh, man, you warned us. Now we understand. I pray that we're listening with both ears and we're seeing with both eyes. But there you have it, guys. Brooke Scholar Richardson, the vicious murder of a poor, innocent child. 6 months to a year potential probation for first degree